Hi, I'm Tiffany and welcome to my YouTube channel where I take you on my personal journey of spirituality, personal growth, wellness, and good vibes through the eyes of the LGBT community in hopes for a more diverse and compassionate planet. And today I'm going to talk to you about my coming out story. So I came out when I was 16 years old, right in 11th grade, and it was not by choice. I was basically caught. I remember having a crush on my kindergarten teacher when I was 5, and I also remember back when I was 4 years old, when I was in preschool, I would always play with the boys with blocks and all these hand shooting gun games. And I remember that I would purposely get shot. And I would always pretend to get shot like accidentally, even though the boys didn't really shoot me. And I would always call over to the girls because the girls were nurses. So I'd always be like, "Oh, I got shot on the battlefield. Come help me." And I just remember loving all of the attention from the girls that came up to me. There was about this 12-year gap where I kind of kept things inside. I grew up in a non-denominational Christian church. I played for middle school and my high school band. I would play guitar, I would sing. I remember one time I was on this getaway retreat and I remember just praying to God, like, something's wrong with me, because you get this connotation that, you know, growing up in a Christian environment, at least back when I was, back in high school, that it's wrong. And it was one of those things that was never spoke about, like, in the sermons. It was never spoke about saying, like, hey, this is wrong, but it was never talked about either. It was kind of like this gray matter area, which I never quite understood. But it gave me the connotation that, hey, it's wrong, we're not going to say it's wrong, but you need to fix it, and it's wrong. So I remember at this retreat, I would just pray to myself at the time, or pray to myself for God, and be like, something's wrong with me. I need to fix it, and this is a curse, and this is like a sin. I'm tempted. I'm looking at other females, like something's wrong with me. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and nothing actually changed. And I just kind of came to the conclusion that, you know what, God made me this for a reason, and there's nothing else to it. I mean, why would God allow, everyone to be the same if that were the case? Like, how would love be spread throughout the universe if everyone were the same and so close-minded? Like I said, I came out when I was 16 years old. I remember meeting this girl in my school, and I was attracted to her. Now, at the time, obviously I'm pretty tomboyish now, but at the time I was a little bit more girly. I had long hair. I remember this girl was more slightly tomboyish, and like it screamed like she's gay, right? So I think that, looking back on it, I was more attracted to the fact that she was gay and she was like out of the closet and she just didn't give a fuck. And for me, that's something that I wanted. So I believe that I kind of crept onto her and really liked her because that's how she was, and I wasn't quite there yet. And the next thing you know, we're dating, but she's out of the closet. All of her close friends know without knowing that that we're together. I told her I'm not ready to come out yet. She's like, no one's gonna know. And of course she tells her close friends, and everyone just kind of put two and two together because they all knew that the girl that was openly gay in school is hanging out with Tiffany, the athlete. Basically everyone knew at my school without it actually knowing. But I was terrified, especially because of my identity at the time and growing up in that Christian community where, again, I am, sleeping with a girl and my parents don't know, and on the weekends I am playing guitar, singing to God. I remember that she left a lesbian video over my house one time. My mom basically was like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, that's just something that she wanted me to watch. So I think my mom just started catching on a little pieces. My girlfriend at the time wrote this little letter that was like, I am falling for you. I didn't want any evidence of it whatsoever. So here I am, a 16-year-old, tearing up the pieces of paper and putting them in my trash can in my room. Guess who goes through the trash can? My mother, of course. She goes through the trash can and she pieces it all back together. And she was just like, look, Tiffany, I know, why don't you just tell me the truth? Like, why don't you just tell me? I don't care what you are, so just tell me. And looking back on it, even though I was terrified at the time, like, I was so blessed and so lucky to have a mother, which is my backbone, to accept me for who I was. But you have to realize that it's still terrifying coming out when you grow up in a society where everything is heterosexual, where everything, where homosexuality is almost taboo at that time without being spoken about. And again, you're only 16 years old, so you don't even know what is okay, what's not okay. You're still discovering the world, if that makes sense. Now, on the other hand, the church that I went to at the time, I remember having them pray for me. And that was a really heartbreaking moment. I remember feeling like I wasn't good enough. All these years of being a good person and trying my best and being the best version of myself wasn't okay, not only apparently in the eyes of God, but in the eyes of my peers. I'm now more a spiritual person, where I believe that all the religions are essentially speaking the same language and having a universal conscious effect on it. In my personal opinion, that religion divides us and doesn't put us together, that there should just be one love, one God, one type of universal energy. I fortunately never got bullied, and my heart goes out for all the people out there, that are even going through it right now in school or just out of school, that are going through bullying, because I would have been broken. I would have never, I don't know what my life would have been, but luckily I did have some people support me. One of my friends, Megan, I remember her saying, like, look, I knew you were this entire time, but it's okay, it's cool. So to anyone that is, struggling, or, I encourage you guys to find meetups, to find people online, to, go to, maybe not necessarily a club, but, like to a bar, just to a meetup where you can find like-minded individuals, because not only will it make you feel better, but it's going to open up your mind and expand your consciousness and make you realize that, wow, like there are people that have gone through it way worse than I have and have come out so much stronger. So I've grown as an individual because I realized that my uniqueness and, when it comes to not only my sexuality, but my personality, everything about me, when I have always put myself down because of it, I realize that it's a gift and my uniqueness can connect with other people, which is another reason why I'm starting these vlogs. Because if everyone were the same, no one would find the stories to connect with people. Everyone has their own voice, and if I share mine, my hopes is just to connect with someone. So when I stopped caring what other people think, I really started to become stronger with who I am as a person, and ultimately it has made me more confident as a person. So a tip I'd love to share with you is, if you were recently coming out or have already been out but just don't know how to quite tell people, let's just say you're starting a new job or you're being introduced to a new group of friends. Not that your sexuality has to define you immediately, but it is a part of who you are. So I recommend to say right off of the bat that you are gay, and it's not saying like you're waving a rainbow flag and you're like, I'm a fucking lesbian, what's up? It's more so bring it up within the first, couple days or first couple hours or whatever feels comfortable to you. Bring it up in a casual conversation. Oh, I used to date this girl that also went hiking at this location as well. When you find connection through other activities or other topics of conversation, you find connection and realize that you guys are both human despite whatever they are. And when you slip in the fact that you're also gay or whatever you may be, it makes them realize a little bit more, I think personally, that, hey, even though we're different, we're still kind of the same. So I would like to hear from you guys. Comment below, tell me what was your coming out story like, what struggles did you go through, how did you overcome them? and anything else that you'd like to add. So thanks for tuning in and watching my video. If you liked the video, make sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also find me on Instagram.